Hello everybody, Sample here, and today we are doing a My Hero Ultra Rumble video, and now, this time, we're just gonna see which characters actually needs the nerfs, like real bad, who still needs nerfs. Now we did have a patch note that buffed and nerfed some characters, but not exactly all the characters that we were hoping for from the previous season. If you are wondering, yes, this is my first video for My Hero Ultra Rumble. I do not play the game on the channel. I do play the game on my own time, and I do play it a lot. I have two fans of the channel who actually know who I am because of my username, and I did actually announce this on my community post. So if you guys can find that, you guys already know my new username, basically. As for right now, Kirishima's skill set is not been released yet, and by the time this video comes out, I think he's not going to be out there yet. And the tier list, I will show you right here, does not actually show him. If I can just scroll down a bit, yeah, it doesn't actually show him, so yeah, it's gonna be a bit late to the party, unfortunately. Now here are the rankings for who needs buffs and nerfs. Rule number 1, it's kind of obvious of what these are. If there's a character who just needs like a little tweaking, right? Just a little adjustment, minor adjustments to damage or something like that, just like minor nerf. The nerf this one is like, makes sense. It's just a nerf in general, like they kind of just need it, but it won't really matter in the long run in a way. It's just like maybe more of a balance to the character instead of to the game. Needs nerfs is like something that really needs it, but if they don't actually do it, it's fine, but it should be a priority, and it needs nerfing. It's just as it said, it needs to be nerfed, or basically the balance of the game and the feel of the game would be ruined. And unfortunately, there are also some characters that are in that tier, and I play one of them, so yeah, either way, let's just start. Also, if you guys want to know, am I actually qualified to do this nerfing stuff, here's a screenshot of how many hours I play. I'm not the best player. I'm basically just very average in terms of actually playing, and I do play on Switch, so this is my gaming experience, and my reasons for these nerfs are based off of Switch and its performance, because there are still some glitchy stuff on Switch, which is a bit weird. But I also watch other people play. There's Stray, who plays on PC and PlayStation once, a few times. And then Sensei Gogo. He's around my skill level and he's on PlayStation. So I do watch both of these people. So I do have a bit more generalization of how the characters feel and how good they are. I think for Stray, it's more like the potential of the true potential of those characters, because he's really good. Okay, well, enough of blazing there. Let's just go on here. Let's start off with the first one, oh boy, Deku, basically. We are going to go on the character roster on that website. So first off is Yellow Deku. Now, the strange thing is that he didn't really got any buffs as I remember. He did get nerfed, which was his alpha, and that's a little weird. Now, there is a glitch on Switch, because this happened to me at least twice. One match was just one time, but there was another match that was consistent. His Gamma does damage, which does 15 per hit, which I don't think that's supposed to be a thing. And it was just Deku by himself, so I'm assuming this might just be a person hacking. So, with the benefit of the doubt, if this was a hacker, I'm not going to count that. But other than that, yeah, Yellow Deku doesn't really need the nerfs. He just needs his alpha back. That's kind of about it. If I really must, he might just be on the higher end, because the only nerf that I would see him needing is a slight nerf to his beta. Just maybe -5 in attack power, and that's about it. If we look in his stats, this is how much damage he does now. This is his alpha. And okay, yeah, I think last time it does, well, ignore the ads there. This website has ads. You would never notice because nobody actually put it on like a smaller zoom in, but like I zoomed out a bit. But Yeah, usually at level 9 it would do like 100 damage. Now it's just 80. It's a little pathetic, all things considered. But I think you can get this up to maybe 90, or if you're lucky, 98 with 2 strike units, I guess. As for his beta, it's really strong, and I think this is very reasonable. I think the slight nerf to his beta would actually be like a -10 on level 1 through 4, and I think that should be it. Everything else should be okay. As you can see here, Gamma doesn't do any damage, although if I'm wrong or this website's wrong, just let me know. But when I play Deku, I never actually do any damage when I actually hit opponents with this. So I think it was just a hacker, or could just be a switch bug. But yeah, that's kind of about it. And yeah, Deku is just over here. Now we get to full bullets, and this, yeah, okay, it's a little controversial on this one, because there is a few people who would stand by that this character should not get nerfed, but I think we do know that he does need nerfs. Now the thing I'm seeing this here, just the damage on this, just going for the website, there is damage here, but this is not the damage that he could do exactly. And then you have his beta, which has no damage whatsoever. I'm assuming there was a baseline, but this scales based on how high you are and when you hit the ground. And then there's Gamma, which it's the only one with actual damage counts. So, through my experience, this is supposed to be a shotgun blast. Now last time this was really bad, but right now 21 damage doesn't seem that bad, but I remember actually seeing other red Dekus without perks. I should actually announce this, but I'll announce it like afterwards. Like, I can see Deku's actually doing like 35 damage on like max, or at least at level 5, because it's either one of these two, level 5 or level 9. Like, it's usually like 35, and I don't know if they were actually using boost or they have a full strike team. But this was just very concerning, but I think that the damage done by this is still pretty fine. I don't know if this is the actual damage that this move actually does now, because this seems a bit weak. Because I thought it was weaker when it first released. I could be wrong though. Now the beta is like the definite thing here. We still have the glitch. I'm not saying what the glitch is, but I think every single person at this point know what the glitch is with this one. It's a bug as well, I guess, a bug or glitch. But at default, this does at max damage. I can see by just using this only without the Gamma, this one, as much I can see, this is like a consistent like 250 at level 9. For a strike unit, that makes sense, because strike units are either fully like big damage or DPS, and Deku for this one is basically just a lot of damage. Although with the glitch, it's just, if you know the glitch, you can just tell how much damage this actually does. But here's the thing, there are actually some points, and I don't know if it's actually true or not, because most of the matches I've seen, there's a lot more myhero players, and I don't know if they're actually abusing this at this point, but currently almost every red Deku that I've seen, at least like 70% of them on Switch, they can do at least 500 damage. 500. And I'm not joking, it breaks it, because every time when I have full shield and full health, it breaks shield, and then most of my health is gone. And then one shot, and then just the alpha, just there's that. Of course, granted, they could be abusing the myhero strat, of course, but I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt that they're not. And if this is a thing, unless they shadow buffed it, that's just super annoying. I don't think that's a good idea. Gamma's whatever. It's super strong. There is a bug with it where people get stuck into it, which is bad. And I do mean like opponents and teammates. They just get stuck in this. I don't know why. In terms of damage, this is fine. This is like what I expect for a strike unit to do in terms of like a damage focused one. But this is just too much. This is like literally too much. What I think really needs is that I would say maybe nerf alpha just a tiny bit, but the major nerf is literally just the beta. The beta really needs a good nerf. I do think that it should do at the very least, because I think level 1 does at least 150, and that's basically the consistent number that I keep seeing, like a default beta, no height gain, it's just 150. I think shrink it down to like 100 damage, just like Gamma, should be worth it. So I think beta should have the same scaling as Gamma, except I think around level 9, like 7 and 9, is like these same values for beta, just like increase it to a point where like it makes sense, where level 9 does 200 damage. Because if level 9 does 200 damage base, it might be a bit too much, but I feel like that's good enough, because there's Kiri who could also do 200 with beta or Gamma, so like it would make sense for Deku to be this way. But we have to know about height scaling, so I would think that beta should be slightly weaker than Gamma, and having like the maximum output for beta being like 250 or 200 with max height. That's the only thing that I think this should make this character still viable, but he's super annoying to deal with. But yeah, just a full-blown damage nerf. That's kind of about it. The unfortunate thing is that he is from the gacha system, purely from gacha system, so like it's kind of hard to actually like try to nerf him while he is one of the rarer ones. I don't know, but I do think that just nerf his beta. In short, that's kind of about it. So just to clarify just a tiny bit, so the only other rules that I will put on for this is that characters who are from the special battle pass, like the special pass, which you can just unlock characters, those characters do get a special leeway because they're technically characters that you unlock. So the further down the special character is, the more leeway they get. Meaning because, like, you know, they're at the end of that special pass for a reason. They're supposed to be the powerhouse that you can get for free. And I think that should be fair. Although for All Might, we'll talk about him just a tiny bit later. But like, for other characters, some of these other characters are like a little bit overtuned for like how far they're in. Like the majority of some of these characters are just like near the beginning, which is kind of strange. Like the middle characters get more privileged than like the ones at the end. It's kind of weird, but at least to me. As for like skill sets, everything's up for game. They don't get any special leeway, at least for me. Okay, Strike Bakugo is next, and okay, this is very simple. I think if you can tell, yeah, the Gamma is actually pretty fine. 5 damage is not the true power. I mean, 5 damage for each hit it makes sense, but the final explosion is about like, at max, I assume maybe 200. I think it could be 180, but it's very hard to tell, and I don't really use Strike Bakugo all that much anymore, which is because Rapid is much better, but respect to everybody who plays like Strike Bakugo. But I think for him specifically, there's only one place that he is in, and that is literally that he does not need any change at all. What he actually needs, compared to Deku, like we'll put him lower just because that will represent people who needs buffs. He needs the alpha back. His alpha is just pretty bad, because it's like 65 damage, which is not exactly true, because with a full strike team, this damage for surprisingly can go up to 90. I've seen people hit 90 before, but this used to do like at least 100. Or was it the other, or was it more like he can do like 70 and then at max he can do 80? Because this seems a bit too low for my liking. It's too low for what I remember. 65, I think with a full strike team beforehand, I think from the Strays video, I think, because Red Bakugo can actually do 9, like you can do like 85 at max with a full strike team. This doesn't seem right. This would kind of make like 75. I guess. I don't know. I guess just a damage buff. Like a damage buff would just be nice for Bakugo. That's kind of about it. Rapid Bakugo is a little easy as well. He didn't need any nerfs last time, and he certainly did not need the buffs, but any more buffs for this Bakugo is fine, because he doesn't really have a very good jump, at least in my opinion, and his run is a little slow. He's not the slowest rapid in this case, but like, he does technically need the help, but he does not need any nerfs or buffs whatsoever. Thinking right here, yeah. Yeah, he's perfect as he is. He doesn't really need anything. Okay, the next one is Ochako, and I'm just gonna say this right now. She's from the special pass, so she gets some leeway, but there is a significant nerf that I think she needs. Her alpha needs to be nerfed, because the combo that people can do with her, it's not that hard to actually hit anymore. And I think that's only because people who play her are really good with it now. But it does need a damage reduction. This alpha damage should at the very least be at the same level as what Strike Bakugo is. And I think that'll be fair. The beta, the only thing I would nerf for beta specifically would be the cooldown for it. Like, the cooldown on the recharge should be more punishing if you just use it all the way, and I think that should be fine. As for Gamma, Gamma's actually fine because it's a trap. It makes sense. It hits twice, so there's a chance that that person didn't know they captured anybody, so you might get scared away from there. I think Gamma's fine. You just need to just nerf the alpha and maybe beta. But in terms of where it ranks, she is from the special pass and technically one of the characters in the middle. So she doesn't get that much leeway for me because there's just the potential for combos is just one thing. But she doesn't have that much survivability. Makes sense because she has a really low HP pool, but like, it's kind of whatever, I guess. If anything, maybe I'll count it as a minor nerf. Like, she could still stay there. It doesn't really matter. Okay, here we go. Strike Todoroki. There's his picture. Okay. So, here's the thing. It's like iffy for me, but I'm gonna be honest. He has a DPS move and then 2 power moves, which is fine. What I do think should happen here, I do not know why his alpha has a decimal. That's the only thing. I don't know why. I think the only thing about it is just either round up or round down the numbers here. That would just be like a minor buff or nerf, but since they cancel out each other, I think that he's actually fine as he is. He really does not need the nerfs. I guess it's a slight adjustment. That's kind of about it. Since we're here, let's talk about purple. The purple Shoto. I hope I call him Shoto. Hope I did. But I did call him Todoroki, maybe. I sometimes I don't remember. But like, okay, so he was perfectly fine as it is, but it does seem like he's a bit overtuned. I think I heard from Go-Go that he got shadow buff, I think. and it might be from his alpha. Maybe. It's kind of weird. But everything here is fine. The explosion is fine. He's supposed to be a disruptor. He's not supposed to do high damage, but it makes sense that he would since he cannot really move anywhere. But he's mostly a disruptor, and that's about it. Gamma's fine. Beta's iffy. You can argue with Beta, but like it's fine. I think Alpha just needs a little bit more tuning. With the range it gets, I do think it needs a damage nerf. I think the maximum it should do is like 95 at level 9. But it's whatever, honestly. Like, I could put in minor nerfs, but he is technically, in a way, perfectly balanced. But I do think that he actually needs the adjustments. Just like adjustments. That's about it. I guess you can count it as a minor nerf, but if they don't, but I feel like you don't need to change it. He's fine as it is. Actually, no. I'll just put it at minor nerfs. Not as much as I think Oraka, but like he just needs a minor nerf through his alpha damage. That's about it. Ida. Oh boy. Okay, so where do I start? First off, he is, if I remember correctly, he is from the special pass, so I'll give him some leeway. The one thing is that this guy's a bit too good still. He might be a very simple rapid, but he's still too good in my opinion. His alpha can actually home in pretty good, but you do need a lot of skill to actually like combo with him. His gamma, okay, I think for one thing, I think his gamma should be buff, my opinion. Should be buff so it can last a bit longer for all. But alpha and gamma. Okay, so here's the thing. This beta, alpha and beta. So this beta, you see here, see this damage? This is all false. This is not true. I seen Ida's on Switch, and of course Ida's from Stray's video as well. Like when he gone against other Idas, they do 250 per kick. I don't know how they're doing this. And the majority of these people do not have strike on them. Now, this could be because the gamma, it might be bugged, where it's not just a buff to movement and attack speed, but it also buffs damage. That would make sense for this to be 250. Without strike characters. If that's the case, it could just be a very big shadow buff that nobody noticed, because who the hell would play Ida? I mean, I still play Ida, so like, there's that. But for me, it's harder because I'm not that good with Ida. He's like, so the fun fact here is that I kind of want Ida to be my main, but I can't because he's a little difficult to combo. But I just like how he is, how his playstyle is. It's just hard to combo. He's supposed to be a hit and run character, which, if we're taking this literally, like with just what the website says, I would agree that he would not need anything. Maybe a slight nerf to his alpha. However, I do see the potential on how strong beta can be. And this is because of the combos that he can do with alpha beta. You can put in gamma there if you really want. If anything, I do think, in my opinion, he should either not be able to combo so frequently, or we need to nerf his damage, because as a rapid, he's supposed to be a hit and run character or a scout, or just a blitz character. For his playstyle, I always play him as a hit and run character, so it kind of makes it fine for what it is. But seeing how many people are doing the combo route, like blitzing, it makes sense. I'm like a little iffy on this, but I feel like just nerf him a bit, because for me personally, just getting hit by the beta with that ridiculous damage is just a bit too much for me. It could be biased though, but I'm just putting in here. So, there is a point in time where I say nerf this frog. But here's the thing. The only nerf that she really needs is possibly her combo game with Beta. That's about it. The damage can all stay. I just think that we are not supposed to be able to actually combo with this. People can. Excuse me. And it's good. It's just that for one thing, that she's supposed to be a scout type of character, keeping people away. Now, a lot of people, you can combo with the frog, and not saying that you can't I'm not saying that Beta is the combo and the only combo that she can do. She has other combos, but I think this is just cheap because you can do 200 right off the bat, which is okay, but it gets annoying because for one other thing, you get stunned for too long when you get caught in Beta because it bounces people when they do the aerial version. So for what I'm saying for Sue, this is a minor nerf, like a pretty minor nerf, like maybe lower than Todoroki because this is just optional, honestly. I do think that once she hits the aerial variant of Beta, it does a hard knockdown. Basically, just a hard knockdown. And that's kind of about it. I think the only thing would be a buff to her camouflage, and that's about it. I don't know if that's going to be useful or not, but like for me personally, I feel like her being the scouting type of character makes sense because of her versatility and movement. That's kind of about it. Could I be biased? Well, I mean, I was biased before. If this was earlier, like 2 seasons ago, I would be biased, but not this time. I do think that she does need the slight combo nerf. Like, give it a hard knockdown. That's kind of about it. That's all I'm asking. Okay, Denki. So for one thing, he is a DPS character. He's not supposed to do heavy damage. And considering what's actually going on here for his damage, it looks nice, right? But here's the thing, he can chain his electrics, and then this is a multi-hit AoE, and this one's technically a guaranteed stun at most cases. Yeah. So the thing is that nobody really plays Denki until last season where Hawks was dominant, where this character is actually pretty good. For me personally, I will put him in the nerf this, but the minor nerf that he really needs is the duration of stuns. If the opponents get electrified, I feel like the stun should just be lower because it takes too long for a person to get out of stun, and that's just my thing. It's a little too long. And while I've seen a lot of people like are able to dodge, people who get caught in this, like people who actually play as or against Denki, they get stunned a lot from this, and it's annoying. Not to mention that getting stuns off is super easy with this character. Well, Beta doesn't give it. Alpha and Gamma do. And I feel like maybe if the person gets hit like 5 times from Denki, they should get stunned. Because it takes 3 hits to stun people. I feel like it should go up to 5. That's like the only nerf that I think he should get, in my opinion. Okay, it's time for my board, Kiri. Now, here's the thing. Kiri is my second main in the entire roster. Yeah, my number 2. I really like him. His playstyle is just good. So manly. But I would say this, that considering this, he's a special case. He is a tank, right? He's a tank, but he's pure melee. So it makes sense that he would be very strong. So, according to the website, I was right. His Gamma at max does 200 damage. It's fine. Beta, I've seen people do 200 on Beta as well, but knowing that's 140 doesn't seem right, because I've seen people because when I play Kiri and without any additional strike or perks, this at max at level 9 does 200 or like 190, and at level 5 or 6 it does 150. I could be wrong. It could be a switch thing. Could be a number glitch there because because on Switch it's a little hard for the game to actually register numbers, as far as I can tell. But yeah, I think Kiri, all things considered, he's fine as he is. He's technically the perfect character. What's only annoying is that he is hard to kill, but remember, he is a melee character. He's like, maybe put above Rapid Bakugo. Yeah, because he's a good balanced character. It's just the only problem is that he doesn't have projectiles, which is the reason why he has a higher health pool than most other characters, and of course why he does high damage. I think that is fair. Now once we get the red skill set for Kiri, Red Drive, we have to see how good he is. Because if Assault Kiri, Tank Kiri is good, then Strike Kiri might be a very big monster in the next update when we get to that. Oh boy, I do hope I do get him. But Kiri's one of my favorite characters, so I'm hoping I do get his skill set. Next is Momo, and okay, so let's see. This doesn't seem right. Now, it could just be because people are playing more perks with this character, but here's the thing. So here's the thing. Gamma. The gamma damage is wrong. This is not how much damage it can do. Like, if this was the damage, I would not be complaining, but that's not even the same in on Switch or any other creators I've seen. But let's see. So before I talk about Gamma, Beta's fine. Alpha does need the nerf because it's too easy to actually catch people, and the hitbox is very deceptive. As it's a good thing you cannot really aim it up all that much. It just falls down. But what I think they should do, nerf damage on Alpha and we'll be fine. That's about it. Now here's the thing. Gamma, if I can just scroll all the way down here. Yeah, so Gamma, and I'm just gonna say this. I seen at level 9, I seen people put on 3 cannons. Each cannon does 200 damage. This is not true. Now unless they have strike characters or use a strike card, I can see that happening. But with the perk, I don't know what type of perks people are putting on, but this thing can go 500 damage with just 2 cannons. I don't know what they're on at this point, but like, damn. But here's the thing. As a support unit, you're either two things. You're either doing cover fire or you're supporting your team by heals or defenses. She is a pretty defensive character. She's a bit squishy, but all things considered, Gamma makes the most sense as the cover fire. I just think that her oppression with Alpha is a bit too much. Like, the one thing about it that I think that needs to be nerfed. She belongs into the nerf this tier, I think more so than Ida. And that's about it. The Alpha is too oppressive. Now, people say the cannons are too oppressive. No, the cannons are what serving their purpose is cover fire. The Alpha makes it that she can solo most people for no reason, which is a little bit stupid. But here's the thing. There are a few characters who can counter it and will just go through it with no problem, which is fine. But there's a lot of characters here that can't really compete with that. And knowing that the hitbox is super deceptive, like the hitbox for Alpha is a bit more higher than the visuals are, which is kind of stupid. Could be lag, but it's pretty stupid. Listen, it took me so long to actually get All Might, and I finally got him, and I'm playing him now almost non-stop. He is like my favorite character. Now let's just look at this right now. So, here's the thing. Even without the perks, I can tell that this is slightly wrong. At level 9, he does 85, not 81. It's kind of weird, but like, yeah, it's 85, not 81. With the perk system, he can get up to 90. At a very specific costume and skill sets, that's about it. Beta's okay. This is the initial damage. And then there's the tornado, which does more damage. Much more than just 70. It goes to a point where the maximum damage without any perks and without any assault is around 150, which is actually pretty fine. And then there's this. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. For me, consistently, level 9 does 90 in most cases. Now, it could just be because dodging has some special effects, or like they have assault units on their team. But whatever the case, 100 seems reasonable. It's just that I've never seen the 100. I always keep getting 90 when I get like at level 9. So I would assume it's just either assaults or just like maybe perks at this point. But like last season is always at 90. So unless they shadow buff the tornado, maybe. Other than that, he is the farthest character in the special pass, that means he is the strongest unlockable, which is fine. In terms of like the context of where he is in the game as an unlockable character at the very end of the special pass, it would make sense that he is just that good. Would I nerf him? The only nerf that I can see, and it's really hard to do because in terms of quote-unquote base assault type characters, not including Kiri, he and I would also say Mount Lady are perfect in terms of their skill kits, I mean. So it's hard to tell because it makes the most sense. But for All Might, it makes more sense for him to actually not get any nerfs or buffs at this point because he's already good and he is from the very end of the special pass, meaning that he is supposed to be a really strong character and a viable character at that. For me personally, he does not need any nerfs and he definitely does not need buffs. He is fine as he is. If they buff him, I mean, I'm kind of up for it, but it depends. If it's alpha, no. If it's alpha or beta, no. If it's gamma buff, I'll accept that. But other than that, he is perfect as he is. There's no need. If you are complaining why I would not say no nerfs for him, it's just because he is from the special pass. They get special privilege. It's more on the lines of like equalness in a way. But here's the thing, I would say that Ida is better than All Might just because there's a lot more love to the characters that are in the middle of the special pass. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, I realized that I took at least around 12 minutes just discussing about Red Deku. I just realized that. But now we're here. Next one is Shota Azawa. And okay, so here's the thing. He is very, very annoying. I do believe that he might need a slight nerf, but here's the thing. So beta's fine. Gamma's fine. This alpha, he's balanced in terms of numbers, but his combo game, and he's super disruptive, like this more disruptive than any other disruption of the other technical characters. He's not a trap character either. He's just pure disruption. And it's like, I think like he's perfect as he is, I guess, in a way. He's on by the books, balance in terms of numbers. But I think nerf his alpha damage is like the only thing I would ask for. Maybe not like the thing to be nerfed, but like it needs to be there. Right? Yeah, it just needs to be there. And since we're here, let's just get this out of the way. My man, all for one, he needs serious buffs, man. He needs serious buffs. He does super high damage. He is still a very good option. He's just not there anymore. He's not as good as he can because they got rid of most of his combo potential, with only one combo being a super cheesy and annoying one. But it is one thing where you have to commit, and if you fail, you die. The only major buff that I think we should give him is that give him like a longer lasting beta, and giving him just slight super armor with it, and then give him some more movement speed. That's like the only thing I'm asking for. His alpha does a bit too much damage for my liking, but it's super slow and it goes super far, so it makes sense. If you get hit by it, by the full charge one, it's your fault, unless they're doing the cheesy combo. That's kind of about it. Okay, so technically speaking, he was not the next one. It's Shigaraki, but yeah, Shigaraki, in all honesty, there was at least a point in time where I say nerf him because he is a pure DPS character and he does too much damage. However, the game that we're in, we have 2 flyers. Technically 3 if you count Endeavor. But considering how the game is currently, yeah, like maybe just, yeah, I did say like these guys are perfect, so I think Strike Shigaraki is perfect the way he is. What he really needs is really hard to actually do because he's still good, he's still fun. It's just very hard for him to hit anybody airborne, and that is a big problem. I don't think any buffs, there is no buffs in the world that could actually make him more viable, unless of course we give him the ability to catch people mid-air with Gamma, which is stupid and would make this character the most annoying character in the game and will definitely put him up to here. But that's just me. But I would think that there's no buffs in the world that can help Strike Dabi. Strike Dabi? No, Strike Shigaraki. I'm going a little too ahead of myself here. But since we're on Shigaraki, let's just hop to basically his yellow skill set. This is super annoying, but in all honesty, it's fine as it is. I do think that the only thing, his minor nerf is just damage. That's kind of about it. Other than that, the only buff that I would want him to have is... Actually, no, he doesn't need any buffs. He's fine as he is. The only minor nerf is just maybe damage scaling. And I think the damage scaling should be beta. Beta should do a tiny bit less damage, and that's about it. And the ad is playing. Sorry about that. Apparently there was an ad playing in that website, so yeah. Okay, so according to the website, Dabi is next. Yeah, so I was ahead of myself. So, things very simple. Purple Dabi. He is a pure trap character. So if he does a lot of DPS, it makes sense because his beta is a trap, his gamma is a technical trap, and basically his alpha is a sort of disruption attack. He doesn't actually do that much damage. He's becoming more super annoying because people are finding ways to make him better, which is good. I'm one of those people. In fact, Dabi is actually my 3rd main. Purple, specifically. He doesn't really need anything. Like, he's perfect as he is as well. Cannot be to say the same for Strike Dabi. We all know why. We all know why he's here. Beta is just goddamn beta, and the beta alpha, the technical beta alpha combo, the laziest combo in the game, and it does too much damage for anyone's liking. Alpha is a bit fine, but it can also do nerfs. The main thing about it is either that make it harder for Dobby to track people while beta, or just nerf the damage. That's all we're asking. Nerf the damage, nerf beta damage. That's kind of about it. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what Alpha can do. Alpha's a little fine. I think this is fine. If they nerf Alpha damage, that's fine. Now, as you can see, Beta and Gamma are scaled. I don't know why they're scaled, but they're scaled. I should also scroll down a tiny bit. There we go. There you see, there's no damage here because they're scaled, and the nerf is definitely damage nerf to Beta. We can keep the power boost that Gamma's applies, and we can keep the AoE damage because it's supposed to be a strong DPS move. The Beta does too much damage for its own thing, and considering how freaking easy it is to land Beta, Beta just beats the nerf real bad. That's about it. Now, it makes sense. So here's the thing. The only thing I can see this going for is that either that they nerf the damage, keep the tracking, or nerf the tracking, keep the damage. If we can get like the gray area, the in-between, like nerf a bit of the tracking but nerf the damage, it should be fine. But yeah, he just really needs the nerf. It took them too long for this, honestly. Okay, next up, Toga. So we have both the purple and we have the purple and the blue. So both rapid and tech, right? So here we go. So Alpha's fine. Beta, on the other hand, is iffy. This is not Beta. This is definitely not Beta's true damage. This is no way Beta's true damage. This is a little false, honestly. But if people can combo correctly, this should be fine. But I'm guessing this is per hit, and no, I'm sorry. The hits at the very least are around 40, not 33. But like, ignoring the damage, the only nerf that this character needs, this character is super annoying, right? Super annoying, but in the way if you have to nerf her, it's almost impossible because she can just like turn into the character that she got blood from, and then she can just use that. So just saying that if she does this and then she gets Red Deku or Red Dobby, is like it's almost game over, honestly. Hell, if she got Momo or Overhaul, it's game over as well, unless you're quick about it, and that's about it. But in terms of her base stuff, I think, here's the thing. I think she's in this tier. The thing is that the biggest nerf that you actually have to do for her is literally her special action here. Bloodsucker and Transform. The transformation has to last much shorter than it is. And then the reload onto using special action again. Because as much as I can tell, I think like once you transform back and then you can just Gamma to get blood, and then you just transform immediately. There is no cooldown. So what you really need is to put a freaking cooldown on her special action Bloodsucker, and then nerf the transformation to endurance, and that's about it. Everything else about her kit is good enough. There's no nerf for this. Her special action, however, needs a good tuning, a good nerf. Needs to nerf special action. And then we have Rapid Toga. Don't get me started on this freaking Rapid Toga. Basically, shit. God damn it. Man, my phone rang. Sorry about that. It's just how like Goku has in his videos. his phone is usually putting up notification in his videos. I wonder if he notices. Oh well. Either way, this is just no. Okay, so here's the thing. Bloodsucker, Gamma. It's not as bad as Twice's tracking. So it's fine, but it just is super annoying. Beta needs a definite nerf. This needs a nerf because the ability to stun people is just not that fair. And then Alpha has 8 ammo. Now here's the thing, she was fine for last season because she counters Hawks. But she does need the nerf. What she does need for the nerf is this. Decrease her ammo count from 8 to 7. And just like, if she hits you twice with this, you get heart knockdown instantly. No stun. Just please do not stun people with this. Remove the stun ability. Just like have the second hit being a heart knockdown. That's it. Everything else about her is fine. Just need the nerf. Give her 1 less ammo for Alpha and then like just remove the stun for Beta. That's like all I'm asking for. That's about it. I'm just very annoyed of this character already for her rapid. I just also noticed that I'm pretty loud now. I'm just sorry, but like I just need to express how I feel, okay? I'm sorry about that though. Endeavor. He's a true DPS character. He's also by far the character who needs buffs. Yeah, so we had the lore accurate Endeavor before, right? I showed you his numbers already, but here's this. This is per hit, so he is true DPS besides Beta. Everything about him is fine. You just really need to nerf his Beta. But here's the thing. We nerf Beta, but we increase his damage for Alpha and Gamma. His Gamma should be more stronger, considering that it's a super long charge up power move. And then there's Alpha. Alpha is super annoying as it is. It just maybe just needs a tiny bit of more damage. As you can see, it's 28 per hit. I think just bump it up to 29. Give his damage +1. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Nerf this damage by 5. And then increase this damage by 3. That's all I'm asking. That's literally all I'm asking. It's mostly just buffs. But the minor nerf really is just Beta, and that's about it. Now, if his Beta was balanced enough, he would just need all the nerfs, so he would be down the tier, but that's just how he is now. And unfortunately, he's really, really bad. Him getting caught is just bad. They also need to basically buff his special action. You know, here's the thing. I think he's fine as it is. We're changing it. We're changing it right now. He just needs severe buffs. Okay, maybe not as much, but like, he needs severe buffs, and his special action needs a buff that makes it similar in terms of consumption as Nejire. That's about it. Okay, so according to the website, Myhero is next. I think we'll just put him right there. He got a nerf that basically breaks the character, so he's super annoying still, but he does not need buffs and he does not need nerfs. He's fine as it is. And now we have Nejire. Nejire she is a pure disruption character, and that's about it. So Alpha and Beta are technically fine in terms of numbers. Gamma needs a nerf. Gamma needs to do a tiny bit less damage. I think 100 at level 1 is a bit too much, and this is still true. All these numbers are true. I think that level 9 should be doing 125, and then we can go like -5 from here on out, and I think that would be fine as it is. Beta should not be super oppressive. It takes 3 hits, and then they just do it again. 3 hits and they just do it again. What I think should happen is that after the second hit, hard knockdown. But everything else is about the same, right? I think everything's about the same. Either that, or we just basically give a very short duration, like a shorter duration, not make it too short. Maybe give it like 5%, 10% less meter to use. Like consumption rate is increased by 5 or 10%. I think that'll be fine. As for Alpha, Alpha's fine, but she is a relatively new character. But knowing that this is technically mid-season, yeah, she needs the nerfs. Gamma needs the nerfs. Beta needs a sort of consumption nerf, and that's about it. Normally, it would be in the nerf this category because she is fine as it is, but I think Gamma is too cheesy, especially that you can do it twice. Kinda makes me almost feel like she's just another Deku in a way, but she's basically better than Endeavor, and this is how Endeavor felt the last time when he was low accurate. It's kind of funny in a way. Okay, next is Overhaul. They did nerf his special action, which is iffy. His damage is the same, but considering that we have 2 flying characters, we have a red Dobby and a red Deku, and he doesn't have the cheese anymore to actually combat himself and being on this immediate nerfing train. The minor nerf that he really needs, in all honesty, is his Gamma. That's it. Just like maybe decrease his like... Wow, it didn't even load. Truly website, you know. So you can see his damage here. Now this is technically false because at level 9 it is possible to get 200 damage for some reason at 1 hit. But you can do it twice and you can combo. My thing for this is that we either nerf the damage by 10 points, or, and hear me out, we just give people hard knockdown on the first hit. The second hit should just be something that you can just as a safekeeping type of thing. You don't need to spam 2 to do a lot of damage. And I think that you can just spam 2 in a row to do tons of damage. It's a bit unfair. That's the only nerf. Like, give out a hard knockdown, or make sure that people who were trapped are invincible for the first hit until they're knocked down and recovered. That's about it. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Other than that, he's a very good character for cover fire and he can heal people. And that's about it. If this was like a season ago, where like Hawks was the meta, he would be a bit more higher just because his healing is a bit outrageous. But he was the only character, one of those other characters who can just keep up with Hawks because of his healing. And now he's kind of... yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still pretty viable. It's just that he's gotta be harder to play as, in my opinion. Okay, so let's just rock it our way through because we're taking a little too long, but the rest of these characters are pretty simple to explain, in all honesty. Twice. He just needs a minor nerf at this point. He does need his kit currently just because of the flying characters, but just nerf his tracking. Nerf his tracking for Gamma. That's about it. Next one, Compress. He doesn't really need anything. The minor nerf possibly is the truck damage, but other than that, he's just fine as he is. Maybe just over here. He's kind of perfect as he is. Now, okay, so we'll go for this one. Cementos. He's kind of perfect as he is. Kendo. Some people are gonna hate me for this. Listen. Okay, so like, the thing is, Alpha is technically fine. She needs a fix for her Gamma. Her Gamma should be able to hit people on the dot, not the freaking delay. It shouldn't be like that. Her shield's super annoying. That's all I'm gonna say. Her shield's super annoying. It makes sense, she's a tank, but like, it's just so annoying too much. Her hand shield has too much health, and considering that she has a very fast land movement and everything, yeah. Also, Alpha is a bit too oppressive. There's a lot of people I've seen people play Kendo. She is a bit too oppressive when it comes to Alpha. I think maybe the startup time. They just need to nerf her startup time for get Alpha. That's about it. Alpha startup time is the only thing that needs to be nerfed. Therefore, that she doesn't need to spam the ever-eating shit out of Pebbles. That's about it. Other than that, Gamma needs a big fix. Gamma needs to actually hit with no delay. That's about it. Now we'll get to the next one, Mount Lady. In all honesty, just give her at this point. If she never got the nerf to her stomp, she would actually be able to compete with Hawks. Give her back. Give it to her back. Give the higher hitbox of the shockwave of the stomp just for her. You know, just that. That's all I'm asking. Other than that, she's kind of fine. And maybe just a slight buff to her giant form. Let her take less damage. Because she takes a lot of damage already, even with the damage reduction. So like, it's just up there. Other than that, I do think she's fine. If we can also give like Kiri and Mount Lady both like Kiri's Gamma and like Mount Lady's Stomp, the Deku treatment where they can just magnetize people to their fist or feet, that's like pretty fine. It's pretty simple and it makes the most sense for those two as well, not just Deku, but hey, what do I know. Ibarra. There's a fine line between like, you know, cover fire and supporting. Biggest need, nerf her freaking damage. Alpha damage does too much even with the scaling. Even with the damage scaling, this does too much for Alpha. Beta's fine. Gamma is super iffy. I don't know why it hits health, bypass shield like Shigaraki's. It makes no sense. Unless she's also a poison type. Maybe she's Venusaur. Never thought about that. Either way, yeah, just the biggest nerf is just Gamma. No, wait, not Gamma. The biggest nerf is Alpha. Gamma and Beta can be left alone. Alpha needs the nerfs real bad. Hawks. He got nerfed. Was not enough. Damage was still too much. Also, did you know that Hawks does have the ability to do Fajin? Yeah, I didn't think so too, but somebody put out a video out there. So here's the thing. You remember Deku's stacking ability? That glitch he has with Mirio? Well, Hawks can do that with his beta without any other prompt. That's right. Every hit he does more damage. Now this could just be a severe bug in all honesty, but here's the thing. Damage is a bit too much. His alpha is a DPS thing, so here's the thing. He's supposed to be a hit and run character, but he's also a blitz character. If he's hit and run, we can keep him as is. If he's a blitz character, considering how his alpha works, what we need to do is give him back the meter and the number of times he can do beta. The nerf is nerf the damage on the second hit and keep the hard knockdown. Just mix it up. Just change it. Do Uno reverse on it. That's about it. That would fix him right up. Nerf his beta damage, but make it last longer and can do it multiple times. But keep the hard knockdown on the second hit, with the second hit being 50% weaker. That's all I'm asking for. And that will make him like a bit more fun character to go up against, and not like a fearful character that you will have to watch out for like a fucking eagle in the sky. Then again, I should say hawk in the sky, but like, maybe it's a bit too easy. Then there's President Mike. President Mike. remove one boombox. And that's it for the video. That's about it. Now this is the tier list. As you can see here, Hawks, even though he's nerfed, it was not the right nerf. It was not how they're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be less damage, but keep everything in him about it. We all asked for less damage, but they kept the damage anyway. Also, he has Fa Jin, which makes him a maybe just a slightly more like worse Deku, right? To go up against, but to be honest, I mean, he's fine. They can fix it, honestly. Hopefully they can fix it. But yeah, Deku, Dabi, these two severely needs the nerfs. And then we have these three. Okay, you can argue for Ibarra, but like I'm just saying, nerf Alpha. Alpha needs to have a better scaling and lower damage. That's about it. It's either one of the two. Nejire, she's still new, so they might nerf her later, which is fine. Toga, she's super annoying, that's right. A little annoying, but technically it's okay. Does a little too much damage. Just needs a special action nerf, which would also work for Rapid. The thing is that she could just use the minor nerf or no nerfs needed, but like the nerf for her, just a longer startup for Alpha. That's about it. To make her pretty balanced. But please fix her Gamma, for God's sakes. Minor nerfs like higher stack, like a higher electric stack to stun people, because 3 is a bit too short and too easy to get. Iffy. Maybe just like a damage reduction and stuff, like damage reduction for her, like make her do less damage on Alpha, and that's kind of about it. And like consumption rate increase or just cooldown increase for her Beta. Just let people be like have a hard knockdown on the first hit and not be able to get a combo. Fix the tracking to make it a bit more harder. He's fine. There's maybe a little bit like damage, like needs to do a tiny bit of less damage, like 5 points less damage for Alpha. She's fine as it is. It's just like maybe give her Beta a hard knockdown instead of a combo potential. For him, just maybe lower damage for Alpha. He's technically fine, just maybe a damage scaling down, like damage scale down a bit. Just remove a boombox, because 2 is more than enough, honestly. All Might, he's fine. So like, nope, he's perfectly balanced. That includes Kiri, Mirio, Rapid Bakugo. Maybe just remove the buffs that he received, that he'll be fine. Cementos is perfect. Purple Dabi is perfect. Compress is perfect. Red Shigaraki, there's no buffs in the world that will help him, but he's perfect. He's fine as it is. Yellow Deku needs a nerf to Alpha. Alpha nerf. The Stomp, I think the Stomp is like, Stomp's Beta, so a Beta, no, like, what I said nerf for? Alpha buff, Beta buff, special action buff, and of course a slight Gamma and Alpha buff. And then this guy just needs a speed buff, and that's it. He just needs a speed buff. He needs to get out of there much more faster, and maybe just give him a buff, a longer duration for his Beta, and that's it. Other than that, that's it for the video. Finally, after an hour and 10 minutes. Man, you know, if I didn't actually complain a lot of Red Deku, we would be here less than an hour. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things to talk about for Red Deku and all that stuff. But yeah. Also, if you actually made it to the end, thank you for watching to the end. And just one more thing, I did not account for the tuning system. So this ranking you see right here, this is the ranking for nerfing without perks. This is my ranking if the characters have 0 perks to them. This is their base stats. And as you can see here, the game is technically balanced. We have more characters that are balanced, but sadly there's like 6 characters that need buffs. We have 3 characters that need nerfs right now. And then we have some of these characters. These three here, not needs a priority but not as much as these three. These guys, they can be 50-50, and these guys, the lowest priority. That's about it. Either way, my name's Sampo. I'll see you guys. I paused too early. I'll see you guys next time. And hey, if you catch me on Switch, I'll see you there, and I'll help you. I'll mostly be playing All Might. That's about it. I am making him the A train.